Hello young intellectuals! Welcome to Project Stay Curious. Ang lesson natin in this video is all about cell. Ang subtopics na ating i-discuss ay una, cell theory, pangalawa, major types of cells, at pangatlo, eukaryotic cell parts and their functions. Simulan na natin. Naunawaan namin na marami sa ating mga mag-aaral ang hirap aralin ang concepts of cell because in the first place, we cannot see them by just using our naked eye. But we can actually appreciate the power of cells by observing our own body. Right now, muscle cells are moving your eyeballs as you follow the text and illustrations in this video. Another, ang cells sa iyong tenga are currently working to absorb and process the sounds. At marami pang extremely impressive biological functions ang cell, katulad ng pag-process ng neurons o brain cells mo sa mga information na nakukuha dito sa videong ito. See, cells are truly amazing. Una sa ating discussion ay cell theory. Dito, magbabanggit tayo ng iba't ibang scientists na mayroong malaking ambag sa pagbuo ng cell theory. First in our list is Robert Hooke. In 1665, Robert Hooke, an English scientist, coined the term cell. Hooke examined a piece of cork under a microscope and saw a series of small box-like chambers. Tinawag niya itong cells because they reminded him of the monks living in a small room called cells. Ito ang actual drawing ni Hooke ng mga cell na nakita niya. Then, he published the first description of cells in his book Micrographia. Pero ang nakita ni Hooke were not actually living cells, but the cell walls of dried plant matter. The second scientist is the German botanist Matthias Schleiden. In 1838, he concluded that all plants are made of cells. The following year, a German biologist, Theodor Schwann, concluded that all animals are made of cells too. Finally, ang cell theory ay nakumpleto noong 1855 dahil sa pag-aaral ni Rudolf Virchow. He observed that all living cells come from other living cells. O sa mas madaling sabi, cells are capable of reproduction. To summarize everything, we have three statements under cell theory. Number 1, cell is the basic unit of life, the same way as the atom is the basic unit of matter. Number 2, all living things are made up of one or more cells. Kung kaya, ang basic difference ng living things sa non-living things ay presence of cell. Kapag may cell, living thing. Kapag walang cell, non-living thing. Number 3. All cells come from other cells. Ang mga cells ay nagre-reproduce through cell division. Pangalawa sa ating discussion ay ang distinct types of cells found in different living organisms today. The prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Madali lang naman i-differentiate ang dalawang types na ito ng cells. Ang eukaryotic cell ay may true nucleus, samantalang ang prokaryotic naman ay wala. In prokaryotic cells, the prefix pro means before. Ang karyon means nucleus. So kapag sinabi nating prokaryotic, ibig sabihin before nucleus, reflecting the earlier evolution of prokaryotic cells. Sa eukaryotic cells naman, ang prefix na "u" means true. And again, karyon means nucleus. So meaning, true nucleus. The presence of nucleus has something to do with how cell stores the DNA. Sa eukaryotic cells, most of DNA molecules are stored inside the nucleus. Samantala, sa prokaryotic cell naman, DNA can be found in nucleoid, a nucleus-like structure. Organisms with eukaryotic cells are called eukaryotes. Examples of eukaryotes are animals, plants, fungi, and protists. On the other hand, organisms with prokaryotic cells are called prokaryotes, such as bacteria and archaea. Isa pa sa major difference between prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells is the presence of different membrane-bound organelles. Mas maraming organelles ang eukaryotic cell, kaya ito ang mas may complicated na structure at karaniwang mas malaki. Pangatlo sa ating discussion ay eukaryotic cell parts and their functions. Tinatawag din natin ang parts na ito as organelles dahil like organs, they have unique functions. First organelle is cell membrane. Lahat ng eukaryotic cells ay may cell membrane. Ito ay bumabalot sa cells. It separates the inside of the cell from outside. Ito ang responsible para sa pagpasok at paglabas ng mga substance tulad ng oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrients at iba pa. Sa plant cell, meron pa itong another layer called as cell wall, na gawa sa cellulose and other materials. It provides additional protection and support to plant cells. It also makes the plant cell rigid, kaya lesser ang flexibility ng plants. Second organelle is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the interior of cells. Within cytoplasm, we can find the different organelles suspended in cytosol. Cytosol is intracellular fluid which helps in the transport and in some chemical reactions of substances inside the cell. Third organelle is the cytoskeleton. It is responsible for giving mechanical support to cells and for maintaining the shape. Ang iba't ibang organelles ay naka-attach sa cytoskeleton. Fourth organelle is ribosome. Ribosomes are responsible for protein synthesis o ang paggawa ng proteins. Ang ribosome ay pwedeng makitang nakasuspend sa cytosol at ang iba naman ay naka-attach sa rough endoplasmic reticulum. Fifth organelle is the rough endoplasmic reticulum o RER. The term endoplasmic means within the cytoplasm, while the reticulum means little nets. RER appears rough dahil sa mga ribosomes na naka-embed dito. Isa sa functions ng rough endoplasmic reticulum is to produce secretory proteins. Sixth organelle is smooth endoplasmic reticulum o SER. SER lacks ribosome, kaya siya tinawag na smooth. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for lipid synthesis. Halimbawa ay pag-produce ng mga hormones. Ang SER ay may function din in the metabolism of carbohydrates. Seventh organelle is Golgi apparatus. Tinatawag rin itong post office ng cells dahil ito ang nagre-receive ng products from the smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum. Golgi apparatus modifies and packages these products in a membrane-bound vesicle for transport within or outside the cell. Eighth organelle is lysosome. It is known as the garbage disposal of the cell dahil binibreakdown nito ang mga organic material tulad ng damaged or worn-out organelles. May immunity purpose din ang lysosome dahil may kakayahan itong sirain at labanan ang mga microorganisms tulad ng bakterya. It can also destroy the cell kung saan ito nakalocate kapag na-damage na para hindi na maapektuhan pa ang ibang cells. Ninth organelle is mitochondrion. It is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Ang ATP molecules na pinoproduce ng mitochondria are used by the cell to function properly. Tenth organelle is nucleus. It is known as the control center of the cell. Dito makikita ang factors of heredity, the DNA, gene, and chromosome. 11th organelle is vacuole. It is more evident in plants. Ginagamit ito ng plants for storage of nutrients and other materials and for waste disposal. Sa animal cells, meron ding small storage called vesicles. In plant cell, meron silang chloroplast na wala naman sa animal cells. Ang chloroplast ay responsible for photosynthesis. Dahil sa process na ito, plants are able to produce own food and oxygen. To summarize our lesson, understanding the very small thing called cell helps us to appreciate more the beauty of life. Let us always remember that we have these organelles, though have different functions, that are working and collaborating with one another for us to be able to live our lives to the fullest. Thank you for listening and always remember to stay curious.